So I'm establishing what's going on with this Malawi engine and what we're going to do, and it seems to be a practical and value for money way of doing it is to put a set of new rings in. I'm going to show you the rings in a minute and show you the difference between the gaps, but what I did the other day, I used this tool here. Oh, it's not plugged in, is it? Oh, it is. Thank you, surprise. This with WD-40 down the bore, and this isn't a horn, this is a glaze buster. Alright, this is a glaze buster because we don't want to take too much out of the cylinders because it's on its last legs anyway, but, well, not last legs, but it's just within tolerance. But there's something strange going on with this engine. What I did with the pistons was I wrapped them in a plastic and put them through the blaster just to see if there was any marks on the top of the pistons, and as you can see, there's not a mark on them. Now, if you remember on the cylinder head, it had two marks just either side of the glow plug, which had melted, but nothing on here. Strange that, isn't it? But what's even stranger is this. So after sandblasting, I put it through the ultrasonic to clean it all up, because the only holes that were in it through the oil return holes here and here, so it wasn't that much, but it wanted a good clean anyway. But look what happened to this anti-friction coating. It just dropped off. Look, on every piston it's like that. Now, I've never seen that before. Mind you, there's the first time for everything, isn't it? What it should look like is that. All right, that's what it should look like. I looked inside the pistons to see if there's a manufacturer's mark, and usually that's when manufacturers don't put the makes on, it's usually Chinese. So has this had another set of pistons in that cracked because of the heat, and somebody's just put a set of used or second-hand pistons in this with second-hand rings? Because it's mighty strange how those rings have worn so much. In fact, I'll take the camera off and let's have a look. I hope this is going to come out. This is my finish for glaze busting. I'm not sure if it comes out quite nice, but it's not as shiny as it was. Oh, it's my flashlight there, look. You see, it's taken that glaze off. But I put the rings down the bore, halfway down, and this is the old ring, and it has a gap of 65 thousandths of an inch, whereas the gap on here is 9, which is a lot more acceptable. And it's like that even Stevens all the way across the board. Let's turn that off. Dave in Ireland asked me, wait a minute, how I stopped getting contaminants on the crank. And what I do is I put a microfiber, stuff that right down the bottom, and then once the horns, well, the glaze busting's been through, wipe it out with a lot of paper towels over there, and then when you bring the microfiber back up the cylinder, you're wiping it and cleaning it all the time, and it comes out really spotless, so that's good. And so there's no debris on the crank pins. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm just sort of assessing before I put an order in whether to get a set of pistons, because I haven't got any standard that's any good, and put them in with rings. Yeah, or we might just, I don't know, just I'm perplexed at that finish on the piston, whether it's really super important or not, considering that the bores are worn. I don't know. We'll see what he says, because obviously if we get good quality pistons and rings, they're going to cost money, but it might be a good investment, because these rings sets, they were I think they were about $30 per set. So if you subtract that off the price of a piston, maybe it's not too bad. We'll see. But that's it. So it's coming on a little bit. Today's Saturday, so I'm just going to tinker around. I'm going to fill the transmission with oil, the gearbox, fill the transfer case up, make sure they're all topped up and right. Do a few little tinkery around jobs. And that's it until we decide what to do for the pistons. But I think it'll come out all right, and I think we'll salvage the head, so I'm not too bothered about that. Right, that was just a quickie.